My hope with this election is that, in the hope that Kamala Harris does win, she calls for an immediate ceasefire and the crimes in Palestine end. That is truly like my one goal from all of this. My name is Leena. I live in Livonia. I am 23 years old and I'm a student graduating in a few weeks to be a PA. I am a Muslim woman of color and I consider myself a democratic socialist. Voting has always been something very important to me. I've always tell people to go out and vote. Right now it is still important, but I feel like the choices make it difficult. I am leaning towards voting for Kamala Harris, but I am still contemplating that. I just feel like every election we've been through the past decade has always been like, you should choose the lesser evil, and I'm kind of frustrated with that concept because it's always like we just need to go through this election. It makes it difficult for me to vote for somebody who's been part of an administration who's conflicted such harm on the Palestinian people and say they're going to do a ceasefire, but not really do anything to actually show us that it will happen. I will say with Kamala Harris, the one thing is that this is so superficial, but her demographic, she is a person of color, she is a woman, that does in a sense give me hope because it's a lot different than what we've been having as candidates. My top priorities for domestic policy that I do think Kamala would support, it would be guns. It's a huge problem. And then also, I don't see her supporting universal healthcare, but something to change the healthcare system would be a huge hope of mine with her presidency. So since becoming a mom, it definitely has made me more aware of gun legislation, especially with school shootings. And also just, I would like to have a world that is not filled with hate in terms of where he grows up, and also just the fact that college is something that is incredibly expensive and I have to plan for all the future kids, and I would hope that it becomes something more affordable and feasible for all children, including him. I can only do my best to provide a nourishing environment for my kid and raise them with the beliefs that I would like them to have, but it's not ever a guarantee because they're their own person and they're going to mold how they would like to mold. But there's also so many things outside of my home that I can't control that he's going to be exposed to. Like sending him to school and God forbid something bad happen. So that just worrying, the constant worrying is one of my biggest stressors for what's going to happen. In an ideal world, I would like the Democratic Party to really refrain from AIPAC, which I don't ever see happening, but I don't think that we need to be as a party funded by these lobbying groups because our representatives and our president should be representing the people, not money. And I also would like to see universal health care. And I think that a lot of people who, if you work in medicine, you agree that universal health care should be a thing because it's tragic seeing how ill people can get and how much they'll avoid going to the hospital because they can't afford it.